What's up, Steam Deck Universe? Steam Deck Mob. What's good? Another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your five senses work and your health and strength is good. Look, something that really concerns me about the Steam Deck. This video, the title of this video is the Steam Deck and Relevancy. The Steam Deck is supposed to be coming out on February 2022, and I've been looking through the internet to try to find some type of article that talks about the Steam Deck, and even though February is about 2.5 months away, the question is okay, what are you doing? What is Valve doing to generate a buzz, to generate an interest, or what news do you have to report about the Steam Deck? Even though you're facing the pandemic with the chip shortage, what are you doing to keep people interested in the Steam Deck? The Steam Deck is a bad machine. Don't get me wrong. It's a bad machine. Based on what it comes with and what it can do. And like the developers say, they can't find a game that the Steam Deck couldn't run. So since you're not releasing the Steam Deck next month, December, end of the year, and then next year, February 2022, the Steam Deck should be coming up, right? So what is Valve doing to generate a buzz, to keep all the people that's interested in the Steam Deck have something to get excited about? Now take Microsoft for a minute, with Halo Infinite. Even though Halo was supposed to come out last year, but it didn't because of the graphical fidelities, and the fans weren't impressed by it. So the fans had to let 343 know that this is not acceptable. You're talking Xbox Series X, and you come out here looking like this, so you gotta do better than that. So the fans talked to 343, and then 343 responded. But from that time up until November of 2021, 343, Halo Infinite was always in the news. You couldn't go a week without hearing something about Halo Infinite. So 343 was keeping the fans interested. Plus they had the Halo Master Chief Collection to work on. So 343 plus there was Halo Wars 2. So 343 was keeping the fans, informed, like what's happening with Halo Infinite. And the fans waited almost 15 months. And then Halo Infinite is coming out December the 8th, but 343 said nope, we're not gonna have them wait that long. We're gonna let them play the multiplayer, and that way we can get feedback from the fans on the multiplayer, what they like, what they don't like, and then go from there. So the same rule applies to Valve with the Steam Deck. A lot of people are interested in the Steam Deck. People that are into tech, video games, and stuff like that. So we're in November right now. Today's November the 19th. So what are you doing within these next couple of months to generate some news and some buzz about the Steam Deck to keep people interested? And that is the key when it comes to the Steam Deck and the release date. You have to generate some type of news, every week leading up to the release date, so to keep the fans excited, to keep all the, PC, Apple, Linux, Linux fans, Unix fans, even console fans happy about the Steam Deck. So I think that's what Valve really need to concentrate on. Not the release of the Steam Deck. We already know about it. But what other news do you have, to talk about this, about what is coming, and what do you what do you have to talk about as far as the Steam Deck is concerned, leading up to the release date? And that is the key, because that's from the time you announce that the Steam Deck is not coming out on December, right? From that time, December of 2021, right? From that time up until February 2022, what are you doing to keep the fans interested, to keep the fans entertained or interested in the Steam Deck? What other news do you have to report? And that is the key. Not the release date of the Steam Deck, but the weeks in between the release date. Every week you got to have something out on the table so the fans can keep, so they can be interested. Because that's what I was doing for the last couple of days. I was searching around the web to see if I can find something to talk about the Steam Deck, to talk about it, to see if there was any news on the table. And I couldn't come up with anything until today. Found this article talking about Steam Deck pros and cons, and basically it's an overview of the last video that I did. This is the only thing I can find when it comes to the Steam Deck. I haven't heard any developers announcement or anything. I was searching around the web, couldn't find anything until today. So that's going to be a key issue for the Steam Deck. Even though we're facing the pandemic, we understand that. But at the same time, you got to generate some type of news every week about the Steam Deck to keep people interested, because people, what they say, like what Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately, something like that. So people attention spans are short. So what is Valve doing in the meantime before the release date of the Steam Deck? What news do you got to report? You got to come up with something, So that is the key component to the Steam Deck right now. Relevancy, because even though it's 3 months, it's short, but that's a lot of hours and a lot of minutes, and a lot of seconds and a lot of days and some weeks. So you got to generate some type of buzz about the Steam Deck every week, and that is Valve's main challenge right now. Not to sit back and then wait until February of 2022, and then all of a sudden now you want to generate a buzz. But what are you doing now? And that's how the game industry works right now. You got to have something out in the news about the Steam Deck, whether it's a new piece of hardware or a new accessory device or a new developer making games for the Steam Deck. You got to have something, So that's going to be the key for Valve right now. Even though they're facing a chip shortage and the pandemic is still active out here in the world, what are you doing to generate a buzz between now and the release date? And that is the key component right now when it comes to the Steam Deck. Not the release date, but what are you doing in between the time you announce that the Steam Deck won't be coming out December, but February? What news do you have to report about the Steam Deck? And that is a key. But anyway, seeing this article today, Steam Deck pros and cons and more, and it's basic. The article is just an overview, like what's the Steam Deck. We already know what it is, right? And what to know. That's another part. And then Steam Deck features, and then it shows it has a video clip in the article, and then it talks about the fast storage, the hi-fi audio, 40 watt battery, 40 watt battery, quick suspense and resume, expandables, and then it talks about wireless connectivity, and then it says pros and cons, and it said let's start with the benefits, and then it talks about keyboards and mouse, portability, frames. It talks about the library, and it shows another video clip in the article, which I will leave a link in the description box. So playing with trackpads, short battery life, talks about poor track record. Then it talks about Nintendo dominance. Talking about Nintendo here. The editor just couldn't help himself but mention the Switch. But anyway, then it talks about how can I get a Steam Deck, and it talks about the 3 different models. You know, the 64 gigabyte, 256, and the 512. And then it says final thoughts. You know, and that's the whole article. So basically, it's just an overview of what I already talked about already. So, you know, this is key right now for Valve. You know, like, you know, like maintaining relevancy, you know, in this game industry, because yes, you have the Steam Deck. Yes, it was supposed to come out in December, and people were looking for it, but then the pandemic, you know, is causing all kind of problems worldwide, and then you came out and announced that, you know, that the Steam Deck won't be available until February of 2022. So from that time you announced it up on the release date, there's some weeks in between. So what, you know, what kind of news do you have to talk about the Steam Deck? Because most of the articles that are out right now is just an overview of the system, and people are coming from one angle with a different overview. And, you know, I mean, not people, but like different websites are coming from one angle with one overview. Another website might come from a different angle with the overview of the Steam Deck. So that's what's out there right now. But before it's like gaming and, you know, like any games coming to the Steam Deck, you know, this is what do you have to report, you know? So we already know that the Steam Deck got what, 50,000 a game library. That's good. We know how powerful the Steam Deck is. We know it comes in 3 models, you know, and we you know, it's like, okay, what do you have, you know, to talk about those weeks in between before the release date? And that is the key right now for the Steam Deck, you know, to maintain the relevancy. Because if you go on the websites right now, if you go on the internet right now, people are talking about, you know, the Xbox, the PS4, I mean, not the PS4, the Xbox, the PlayStation 5, and PS4, and Xbox One, and the Switch. And then there's PC games. But then where's the fresh news about the Steam Deck? Where is it? And that is the key right now, you know? Not the release date of the Steam Deck. That's important. But what news do you have to report about the Steam Deck? And that is Valve's biggest challenge right now, you know? The release date is not the issue. It's the news. It's the weeks in between when you generate news about the Steam Deck. What do you got to report? You know, because if there's no news to report between now and February of next year, 2022, you know, some people might lose interest in the Steam Deck. So right now, Valve got to really focus on like generating like some type of news about the Steam Deck, because what's out there right now is just an overview. But what fresh news do you have to tell people, to keep people interested, So because people, what they say, attention span or interest span or whatever is short. Yeah, that's the key right now. Yes, we're facing a pandemic, Yes, we are. No doubt about it, No doubt about it. So, but still, at the same time, you gotta put something out there. You gotta put something out there, even if it's one news a week for the amount of weeks between now leading up to the release date of the Steam Deck. Like, what do you have to report? I mean, even something like, okay, something like something that have to do with AMD, or something to do with how many developers now are using the anti-cheat software right now, stuff like that. Little news like that here and there would help the Steam Deck right now in today's time. But to go all these weeks with no news to report, that's not good, especially for the Steam Deck, and especially this is your first. I think this is your first. Kind of getting this thing mixed up with I think it was Alienware who made a little device. But anyway, that's important. You got to have something to talk about, man, when it comes to the Steam Deck, because Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have all solidified themselves in this console game business, right? In this video game business. And then your Valve, we know about Steam, but now you have the Steam Deck. So now you gotta generate news every week about this Steam Deck, right? To keep people interested, And that's just the way it is, When it comes to this, when it comes to the Steam Deck, you have to put something out every week, some type of news. I don't even if it's something that happened to an employee, like probably sick or something. Put something, probably somebody who was working on the deck or something, working on games for the deck. Put something out on the table, to keep people's interest and attention. Keep them interested, Yeah, and that's the way it is right now, Because if you look at November right now, November and December, Microsoft made sure, Phil Spencer with the Xbox team made sure they dominated this month. Nintendo, they got some type of news out there about the Switch. PlayStation, same thing. So that's how Valve got to be with the Steam Deck. You got to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive in this video game business, man. You gotta maintain some aggressiveness, some tempo in this video game business. You just have to, and yeah, that's the way this game industry works. You have to be aggressive. You gotta have some speed. You got some aggressiveness, some tempo. And you always got to stay in the news. That's the key when it comes to this video game business. You always got to stay in the news, when you're dealing with video games, to maintain some relevancy. People want to know what you're up. People, fans of Nintendo want to know what Nintendo is up to. Fans of Sony want to know what Sony is up to. Fans of Xbox want to know what Microsoft is up to with the Xbox. So fans of the Steam Deck want to know what Valve is doing when it comes to the Steam Deck. So you got to maintain your relevancy in this video game business. You have to. It's just the way the business is, man. You have to maintain relevancy, man. Look at the strategy Microsoft just did. Look what they just did. they delayed Halo for almost a year. It was almost 15 months. Halo comes out December the 8th. 343 is like Thanksgiving. 343 is like Thanksgiving is coming up. We're not gonna let our fans sit there. We're not gonna let our fans sit there and eat all that food, and they don't have any Halo Infinite to play. So what did 343 do? They said, okay, on the 15th of November, which was a couple days ago, they announced that you can play Halo Infinite multiplayer, and that is huge. That was a good strategy. So what you did was kill 3 birds with 1 stone. You know what I'm saying? You know what they did was they took the spotlight from Battlefield, took the spotlight from Final Fantasy Endwalker, took the spotlight from the Avengers with the Spider-Man DLC. Killed 3 birds with 1 stone. Okay? The Halo's supposed to release on December the 8th, but you can play the multiplayer on the 15th. That was perfect strategy by Microsoft. It was perfect. I still laugh at it till this day. So when it comes to the Steam Deck, man, Valve, this video is for you. You have to maintain relevancy in this game industry. You got to be doing something, man. You know what I'm saying, to keep your base interested or everything. Keep your appetites wet, so to speak. So yeah, that's the way the industry works, man. That's the way the industry works. See, Microsoft, what I like about them too is that this week on Xbox, they make sure that no week goes by without they make sure that no week goes by and there is news to report about Xbox. They don't want to miss a week. That's why they call it This Week on Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said in articles before, Valve, you need to take some cues from Microsoft. Okay? Microsoft made sure that every week, every Friday, This Week on Xbox, they keep you informed. You know? So you have to maintain relevancy in this game industry, and that's the way it works. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the way it is. You have to make every week. You got to have something to report, man. Every week, you know, you got to keep your fans interested in what you're doing. You know, yeah. I mean, even the Wii U is still in the news. You know, every month. You know, because a lot of people still love playing the console. So hey, that's the way the business works, man. Relevancy. You know, you have to have something out every week in this video game industry, man. You just have to, and things will get better from there, man. But you got November, you got the week of the Thanksgiving holidays, you got all December, and then there's January, and then here comes February. So between February and November, what kind of news do you have to report about the Steam Deck to keep people interested? Yeah, and that is called real estate. When you really look at it, that is called real estate. You see, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft always battle for real estate when it comes to news and their console. They're battling for real estate. So Valve, you have to do the same thing too. You have to have you have to own a piece of real estate in this news media, and you have to be in the news every week. So that's the way it is, man. If you want to compete with Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft, man, that's the way the game is. You have to maintain relevancy in this video game industry. It is great that the Steam Deck can play 50,000 games. Excellent. But the release date is in February, so between the release date in February and now, what are you doing for news-wise to generate a buzz about the Steam Deck? Because you can't let a week go by and you ain't got something to say about the Steam Deck. It's just facts, you know. So yeah, relevancy, man. That's the name of the game right now. Relevancy. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna leave leave this article with this video for y'all to enjoy. Plus, the article got some videos in it that talks about the Steam Deck. It's just an overview. But nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, dark side. Go. Peace.